everyone. Good morning, sir. I am Shanili Abarkar. I will be discussing the meaning of end. Sabi dito, the end is the purpose or goal of an act. It is either the end of the act itself or the end of the doer. So, on the end of the act, this refers to the natural outcome or completion of an action. It's the inherent result of the action itself. Examples given are the nourishment obtained from eating, comprehension from reading, scoring a goal in basketball, and communication through talking. So, the end of the doer, this refers to the motive or reason behind the action. It's the intention of the person performing the act. This is illustrated by examples such as person eating to quell hunger versus eating to satisfy an appetite, or a housewife saving money to buy an appliances versus saving for a vacation. The same action and eating and saving can be driven by different intentions. So I am also discussing the kinds of end. So the end of the doer is either proximate and remote, intermediate and remote. Proximate and remote ends, these refer to the intermediate and long-term purposes of an action. Respectively, the proximate end is the purpose immediately sought, while the remote end is the purpose achieved sometime later. The example given is eating, proximate satisfying hunger. So remote man, promoting health. So intermediate and ultimate ends. The intermediate end is an action performed as a means to achieve something else. The ultimate end is the final goal desired for its own sake. It's the end that stops further activity. So intermediate ends can lead to other intermediate ends or directly to an ultimate end. So an example is a student's path to graduation attending classes is writing reports, joining a club, and passing tests. All intermediate ends ultimately lead to obtaining an academic degree or diploma.
Good afternoon, Sir Lloyd Harrington and classmates. I am Abigail Sherbo-Bubilis. I'll be presenting my report on action and motivation. Action and motivation. So, I'll be defining action and motivation. So, action refers to any deliberate human activity. It's not just physical movements, it includes mental activities and chores as well. The key is that it's something done purposefully, not randomly or accidentally. That's an action. So, motivation. Motivation refers to the underlying reason or driving forces behind an action. What compels a person to perform a particular action? What are their goals, desire, or needs that lead them to act in a certain way? Motivation can be conscious or unconscious, simple or complex, and it's what gives a purpose to our action. So, that's an action and motivation. There are the following principle describes about human activity. Every action is performed for, number one is every action is performed for the sake of a definite end or purpose. So, based on this sentence, man is motivated animals for him to get act. He must first have a motive. A motive may be instantaneous as when one stands up to answer the doorbell or when picks up something from the door. Some motives are modest and contextual, some are significant and important. Meaning to say, every action is performed for the sake of a definite end or a purpose. So, basically, everything we do is for have a reason, even is basically daw, everything we do is for a reason. Ito na ako na ginihimo, may iton po rason. Even as small things have a purpose, even we don't always think about it. We're driven by our wants and needs. So, an act done for a purpose is said to be deliberate or intentional. An act done without an intended purpose is said to be accidental. So, sabi ko pa nga sa iyo, it's an action. The key is that it's something done purposely, not randomly or accidentally. An act done for purpose is said to be deliberate or intentional. An act done without an intended purpose is said to be accidental. If you do something on purpose, it's intentional. If it happens by accident, it's unintentional. Doon po ang pagkaiba sa intentional and unintentional. So, number 2 is every action intended towards an ultimate end. Every action is a move to accomplish something. The concept of action implies an ultimate end, which would satisfy the needs of the doer. No sane person would take a bus without wanting to go someplace. Every traveler has had a destination. Meaning to say, everything we do is a step towards something we want. We don't do things without for a reason. We're always trying to achieve something that will make us feel satisfied. Tama. Like, you wouldn't make us feel satisfied. Tama. Like, you wouldn't get on a bus unless you wouldn't get on a bus unless you wanted to go somewhere. Gets? So, every doer moves himself towards an end which he thinks suitable to him. Man does not wish anything except that which is beneficial or suitable to him. Hence, every human is a tendency towards what is good, because only what is good is suitable to man. Nobody desires evil for its own sake, the desire for money. For example, nala po is induce a thief to steal. Evil actions are done for the sake of attaining something bad, something good, I mean. Sorry po, otal na. So, people do things they think will benefit them, di ba? Kaya stealing sila ng what? Ganyan. Even if something seems bad, like stealing ng honey. The person doing it thinks it will help them some way. Kala nila nakakatulong nito. No one wants to do bad things just for the sake of being bad. They believe it will lead to something good for them. So, in summarize this report about action and motivation, all action, big or simple, are motivated by a desire to achieve something, an ultimate end that the person doing the action believes will be beneficial or satisfying to them. Even action considered bad are motivated by a perceived benefit, even if that benefit is misguided or immoral. So that's all. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. I am Abigail Bubilis. I'll be discussing the end of a good. Man acts in order to obtain something good to himself. Therefore, the concept of good is as synonymous to that end of our purpose. Man does not desire evil for its own sake. Only what is good could be the end or purpose of an act, either the ultimate end or the intermediate end. Meaning to say, people always do something for a reason. They aim for something they think is good for them. So the idea of good is really about what someone trying to achieve. People want to do bad things just for the sake of it, even if something bad happens, because the person doing it thought they were doing something good. Kala nila ay ginihimo nga mga mali, kala nila tama ito para sa kabubuti, even if they were wrong, diba? So Aristotle defines good as anything which fit or suits a function. Food is good either because it suits one taste or the need for nourishment. Clothes are good because they fit the personality of the user, or they provide comfort in a higher level. Actions are good when they fit the moral integrity of a person. Aristotle believed good means something fitting its purpose. Good food nourish or taste good. Good clothes fits well, are comfortable. Good action align with person moral character. Essentially, something is good when it fulfills intended function or role effectively. These statements define good and evil based on alignment with human nature. Makatao action are good because they are in accordance with is considered naturally human and moral. Hindi makatao action are evil, they are go against this natural human goodness. Aristotle believed that what truly benefits a human being, the good, is what best serves the function of their soul, the essence of their national nature. Therefore, the actions are considered good when they align with reason and logic. Actions that contradict reason are considered not good. In short, morality for Aristotle is linked to rationality. So, lastly is evil, which is presented to mind as something good, is called apparent good. For example, stealing is desired as good because it's an opportunity for the thief to have something of value for himself. Crimes are committed because the criminal regards their acts as instrumental to getting something good. This, a student would cheat during examination in order to pass the subject. So, next example is politician would wish his rival candidate murder because he wants to win election. The concept of apparent good, something that seems good but is actually morally wrong. People commit evil acts well and led to something they see as good for themselves. Example, a thief stealing for personal gain, a student cheating to pass exam, a politician committing murder to win election. The perceived benefit must underlying moral wrongness of the action. In short, it's about how people can justify bad actions by focusing on the potential positive outcome, even if that outcome is achieved through immoral means. That's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is Roger Bermeo from Base in Entrepreneurship 1D. Today I will be sharing a short discussion about ethics, focusing on the kind of good, the ultimate purpose, and some basic ethical theories. These ideas help us understand what makes action right or wrong, and how we make moral discussion in life. Kind of good. There are three kinds of good according to the ancient philosopher. First, good in itself, something that is good because it brings happiness or pleasure. For example, love and friendship. Second, good for its consequences. Something this is not fun to do but brings good results. Example, studying hard or exercising. Lastly, good God in itself and for its consequences. Something that is both enjoyable and bring good result. Example are helping others.
Good day everyone, my name is Charmelody Sumampong and I will be discussing the greatest good. So ang greatest good ay lahat ng ginagawa ng tao ay may layunin at ang layunin nito ay makamit ang kabutihan. Hindi lang mga simpleng gawain ng tao ang may layunin ito, kundi pati na rin ang buong buhay ng tao. Ang buhay ng tao ay isang paglalakbay patungo sa tinatawag na pinakadakilang kabutihan. Ayon sa mga pilosopong scholastic, ang pinakadakilang kabutihan o summum bonum ay isang bagay na perpekto sa sarili at kayang punuan at tugunan ng lahat ng hangarin ng tao. Ito rin ang tinatawag na pinakahuling layunin, isang bagay na hinahangad hindi para sa ibang bagay, kundi para sa sarili nitong halaga. Para kay Aristotle, ang pinakadakilang kabutihan ay kaligayahan o happiness. Sabi niya, ang tunay na kaligayahan ay hinahanap ng tao para sa sarili nito, hindi dahil may gusto pa tayong ibang makuha mula rito. Halimbawa, gusto natin ng kasiyahan, karangalan, karunungan at kabutihan. Hindi lang dahil maganda ang mga ito, dahil inaakala nating makakamit natin ang kaligayahan sa pamamagitan ng mga ito. Pero ang kaligayahan mismo ay hindi natin hinahanap para makuha ang mga bagay na ito. Sa madaling salita, ang kaligayahan ay ang tunay na layunin ng buhay ng tao. Ang susunod kong tatalakayin ay the meaning of happiness. Ang kaligayahan o happiness ay may dalawang uri. Ito ay objective at subjective. Ang objective happiness ay tumutukoy sa isang bagay na may halaga at nakakatugon sa pangangailangan ng tao. Halimbawa, ang laruan ay isang bagay na may halaga para sa bata. Subjective happiness naman ay ang pakiramdam ng pagiging masaya o kontento. Halimbawa, dahil sa laruan ay ang bata ay nakaramdam ng tuwa o saya. Ibig sabihin, may mga bagay na nakakapagpasaya sa atin, pero ang tunay na kaligayahan ay nanggagaling sa pagtanggap o pagkamit ng mabubuting bagay. Ang kaligayahan ay hindi lang basta emosyon o pakiramdam, ito ay isang estado ng pagiging buo at perpekto bilang tao. Kapag nakuha natin ang bagay na tunay, na mabuti tayo ay nagiging masaya ng lubos. Iyon lamang po. Thank you.
Good afternoon everyone. I'll be discussing about what people desire. So first, some people regard money or acquisition of wealth as their ultimate aim of life. So, while desiring money is legitimate, money does not satisfy humans completely. So, money can make the richest greedy towards other people. Second one is some people regard health and physical beauty as foremost and important. Health, of course, is necessary because it is important for us to have a productive life. While ang physical beauty, madali siya mawala due to illness and pagkakaroon ng edad ng isang tao. The third one is some people indulge themselves in worldly pleasure. This pleasure does not last for long and often lead to unhappiness. So, for an example, is eating so much and can cause a stomach ache, if not unwanted weight or obesity. that some people seek for popularity and fame. So, kagaya sino ng mga popularity and fame, ini siya ng mga bagay is dali mabalyuan kagaya sa mga flower na ada sa ato vase. Popularity and fame can also be tainted easily just kagaya sa mga rumors na napaligid sa ato. The fifth one is some people would want to dedicate themselves to the cultivation of science and art. And lastly, some people would consecrate themselves to the religious life. Natural and supernatural happiness. So when we say natural happiness, it is generally understood as happiness derived from human experiences, relationship, and individual outlook on life. So, kunwari is nakapasar ka sa exam or nagda-travel ka mo, that is natural happiness. Not supernatural happiness, on the other hand, is often seen as transcendent joy or fulfillment, but na di siya na-achieve through natural means, but rather through a connection with the divine. So, kunwari is nagpa-pray ka or nagsisimba, nakaka-feel ka sin joy and peace kung nagkaada ka sin connection with the divine mercy. That is supernatural happiness.
The ultimate purpose. The ultimate purpose in ethics is to achieve happiness, or what will philosophers call eudaimonia, a Greek word meaning good and meaningful life. According to Aristotle, all human actions aim for one final goal: happiness. This happiness is not just about pleasure, but living a life of virtue, purpose, and excellence. The ethical theories. Ethical theories help us know what is right or wrong. Utilitarianism is about doing what makes the most people happy. Deontology says we should follow rules, do our duty, no matter the result. Virtue ethics focus on being a good person with good values like honesty and kindness. Ethical relativism means that right and wrong can depend on person, culture, or belief. That's all. Thank you.
And last, I will be discussing love, the greatest good. The passage uses the analogy of a child lost in a candy store to illustrate the overwhelming number of choices we face in life. It argues that while philosophers might simplify the decision-making process by suggesting we choose one thing and live happily ever after, this approach ignores the inherent value and validity of all desires. The passage emphasizes that earthly goods are diverse and abundant, divinely created, making every desire a legitimate expression of our human experience. Therefore, the true greatest good isn't a singular choice, but rather the acceptance and appreciation of the multifaceted nature of life's offerings.